What's going on, guys? It's your boy the Markham Knight here. Today's video is going to be all about WandaVision episode 7. For those of you who have not watched it, probably go watch that first because I will be getting into spoilers here. I'm going to give you my recap, I'm going to give you my theories, and then I'm going to give you my review for this episode. Now let's jump right into the recap. The first thing we see is that the intro to the show is blaming everything on Wanda. Now this is clearly a misdirect for anyone who knows anything about movies and TV shows. They clearly try to set up something that's not the case, and we get to see that later actually in this episode. So the next big thing that we see is that Wanda's depression of everything that's happened so far is affecting this reality. Clearly it's affecting everything that's going on in her life, and it's making things either go back in time or go forward in time or bounce between it. So it's affecting this reality inside of the hex. And then the next big thing that we see is it's might be revealed who the aerospace engineer is, and it's nobody we were expecting. It's Major Goodner, who, my knowledge of the comics, I don't really know who Major Goodner is in the comics at all, so I don't think it's that. But I don't think it's something significant. I think they were kind of setting it up like it was going to be a big reveal, but I feel like the big reveal is the next thing that happened, which is Monica gets her powers. And I think that was kind of the big deal, that we were kind of looking for a hero to come into this, and it turns out the hero was actually Monica herself. And for those of you who don't know, Monica is Photon or Spectrum in the comic books. She's also taken the mantle of Captain Marvel before. So basically that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to misdirect us into thinking it was going to be a big reveal of a cameo or something like that from somebody else, but then it ended up just being all about Monica. And I think that was kind of the idea there. So the next big thing that happened, and the last big thing that happened, was that Agnes revealed herself to be Agatha Harkness. All of our theories were confirmed. I'm pretty sure most of us assumed this. I mean, it could have been misdirected a couple episodes ago to make her seem like she was a regular person, but clearly she was Agatha Harkness, and she confirmed it in this episode. And the whole idea is that she's behind the whole thing. Now, that's going to spring me right into my theories, because I do not think she's behind the whole thing. I think she's working for who's behind the whole thing, and I still think that person is Mephisto. Again, for those of you who have not seen previous videos, Mephisto is a demon of his own world. He's often called Satan. He's also called the devil, but he is, in the comic books, the soul that Wanda uses to create her kids. And then when he reabsorbs them, Monica loses it, and that's how the House of M storyline is created. And then Monica goes into creates this whole alternate reality, and then when she comes back from the alternate reality, she says no more mutants and kills almost all of the mutant population, leaving just, I think it was something like 1,000 or something like that from the millions that were there before. And now in this, I feel like a similar situation is going to happen, but once Mephisto is realized and it enters the real world, I feel like it's going to be Vision who's going to be gone, her kids are going to be gone, and I think Wanda is going to say something big and something drastic is going to happen. My personal opinion, I think there are going to be no more kids, no more children, is probably what she's going to say, because mutants haven't existed yet in this world, or so we think. So that brings me into my next theory. This is a rumor that went around, that Wanda, using this hex, is creating mutants in the world. Now, the population of Westview was, I think, something like 4,000, and then she extended the bubble to encompass everyone who is outside of the bubble when she was saving Vision. Now, a lot of people have kind of said that they think this is how mutants are born, just kind of how Monica was turned into a super being. They think that this whole bubble thing will create the X-Men mutants and stuff like that. And I think that's a horrible idea if that is true, and if somehow that comes to be true, I think that's a terrible idea. Because for those of you who do not understand the X-Men and the kind of dichotomy and philosophy between Professor Charles Xavier and obviously Magneto, the key idea about the X-Men and their story and the mutant story lies in racial discrimination. For those of you, I think it's probably best assumed to be kind of what it would be like to be the black experience going through the times when the X-Men and everything was created, because they're constantly discriminated against, humans constantly look down at them and everything. And then there are two different methods. There's the Charles Xavier method, which is through peace we can all live together, and then there's the Magneto method, which is if you don't accept us, we don't accept you, we're the dominant one, and we're going to take this by force. And I think that dichotomy, and it's been said by Stanley himself, that dichotomy in philosophy is kind of understood to be the dichotomy in philosophy between Martin Luther King, who is represented by Charles Xavier, and Malcolm X, who is obviously represented by Magneto, because Malcolm X was by any means necessary, and Martin Luther King was obviously, he was obviously a pacifist. So I don't feel like this would be a great way to bring them in. If they do that, I feel like they're kind of missing the point of the X-Men. I feel like they're missing the point of the mutants. I don't think that's the case. I personally don't think that's the case, and I'm really hoping that's not the case also. So, in terms of my review, I mean, the sitcom stuff is still a huge miss for me. I don't like it. It's too corny. I'm not entertained by it whatsoever. I do feel like it's a lot more balanced now between what's going on in the sitcom and what's going on in the real world, so I am happy about that. I feel like a lot more interesting things are happening now than what was happening in the first few episodes with the sitcom. I do feel like that's because of the balance, but for us who are waiting for something big to happen, it's a really slow burn. And I feel like the idea is to kind of they're playing the long game. And I really hope these last 2 episodes give us something, and this isn't just kind of like a setup for what's going to happen in Spider-Man 3 and what's going to happen in Doctor Strange. Now, one thing that I do want to point out is that I was majorly disappointed, no pun intended, with the Major Goodner reveal, because I feel like this was a huge opportunity to bring in Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards from Fantastic Four. It was another huge opportunity to bring in maybe even Beast from X-Men, because Beast is the one who created the shuttle and everything that the X-Men use and everything. It could have been Blue Marvel from the Ultimates. He's also an engineer and a highly acclaimed one. So this was a big opportunity to kind of bring someone big into it. But I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to build up Monica, and the whole point was to elevate Monica's status and say that she's the hero and she didn't need some other hero to come save the day. But it seems like a huge missed opportunity because they kind of built that up, and obviously they didn't make anything of it. So it was kind of a big misdirect for us. Anyways, guys, did you watch the episode? Did you enjoy the episode? Tell me what you think.
This is the Marvel Knight, and I need you to like, comment, and subscribe.